I'll be all right if you can get me out of here, away from people like her.
Doris,
trying to
that's
drive
enough
me
of that.
insane.
What are you doing?
She's always there.
Just
She's
separate.
hideous to me.
There's no physical
Please,
contact.
Dad, get her away from me.
Look, if you both agree, Danny can stay with me until you're out of here.
Stay with you.
That's right.
He's a bully. Mum, I've been in his place. Had me cleaning up as soon as I got in the front door. He's a slave driver.
You'd do that for us?
I'd like you to stay with me, Danny.
Tracy? Tracy, what's wrong? Here, come on. Can I help? You know, sometimes it does help to talk things out.
Nothing's going to help. Nothing's going to change the look on my father's face.
Your father?
I've let him down so badly. He loves me, and seeing me in a place like this, the look on his face. You wouldn't understand.
Tracy, everybody hurts someone that they love sometime in their life, you know? I know when you do that, you feel rotten and so guilty about it, you'd do anything to make it up to them, huh? Well, you got lots of time. I mean, you'll be out of here soon, and you'll be able to make it up to them. You have lots of chances.
Are you a good friend of this B. Smith's?
Well, I wouldn't say we were good friends, you know, but we get on okay. Why?
Well, would you talk to her for me? I know she just about runs this place, and she hates the drug scene. Could you just explain to her I didn't know they were drugs? Look, I was set up.
Yeah, sure. I'll talk to her for you.
Oh, thanks, Judy. All I've been hearing about is what B's going to do to me when she gets out.
Oh, really? And who's been telling you that?
Kay.
Oh, has she?
She's around me almost as much as Miss Bennett is.
Vinegar tits, eh?
What?
Oh, that's just the name we have for her around here, you know.
It's a good name for her. She's always there. She's always at me over and over again to tell her what I know. She says if I don't, she's going to make life hell in here for me. I did a really stupid thing. I told my dad about it while she was in the room. She's going to make things even worse now.
Tracy, we all know what Vera's like, but she may have a point, you know. I think it might not be a bad idea for you to tell her what she wants to hear, huh?
I can't.
Why? Because of that bloke? You don't think he loves you, do you? I mean, no one could love you and let you take all the blame. I'm sorry. I know I shouldn't have said that.
No, you're probably right. He sent a message in. He said if I involve him in this, make sure I'm in here for a long time.
Poor kid.
I'm so glad you're here.
Well, here we are, mate. Hope you'll be comfortable.
What difference does it make?
Look, why don't you sit down? Bet you're hungry, eh?
Not much.
Well, you're going to have to eat eventually. I'll just pop into the kitchen, check it out, see what we got. Make yourself at home. Well, we haven't got much, I'm afraid. We've, Sorry, I didn't mean to frighten you.
You didn't. Wasn't doing nothing. I was just looking.
Well, you look all you like. After all, it's your home, too, for a while, you know.
Don't go much for reading.
What do you like?
Nothing special.
Well, do you like playing cards?
They're okay.
You can have a game or two after dinner, if you like.
Don't want to. Thanks.
What do you like to do?
Don't care much.
Oh, maybe you'll feel differently after you've had something to eat. We haven't got much of a choice, I'm afraid. You can have spaghetti on toast or baked beans, or you can have baked beans on toast or spaghetti.
Whatever you like.
Look, Danny, why don't you just sit down...
I don't want to.
...and relax? I'll just go and open some tins.
Lizzie, we playing the same card game here or what?
Oh, I can't concentrate on a flaming game of cards when everything's going wrong. We got to do something about this K-bird being top dog. Otherwise, we might as well not get up in the morning. Oh, I wish Bea was here.
Yeah, well, she's not, is she? And while she's away, it's up to us to stop that K person from taking over.
Well, that's quite easy to say, but what do you suggest we do?
Well, we got to figure out a way to stop the women from placing bets with her. Because once they do that, she's got them exactly where she wants them.
Well, I've told the women what Bea'll do to them when she gets out. I've been trying to scare them, but I don't see what good that's going to do.
Yeah, well, they're not going to worry about Bea when she's safely locked away, are they? And some of the women have already placed some bets with her, and I have a feeling that's just the beginning.
Deal me in.
We're not playing. We're talking about your friend, Kay.
She's no friend of mine. Look, I don't know what to do. Now she's putting a heavy word on me to get the women in the other blocks to bet with her as well.
Yeah, well, if you take my advice, you'll stay clear away from her because Bea will skin you alive when she gets out.
Oh, she's as weak as water. She'd do anything for dough.
Is that true?
Yeah, okay, I want the money. But if you had a kid waiting for you on the outside, you'd want it too. Oh, but that's not the only reason. It's Kay. Oh, she's really weird the way she goes off. She scares me. Oh, sure, I know Bea'll kill me if I run book for her, but if I don't, Kay'll make bloody mincemeat out of me. But what would you do? Give me those.
You've got to put a spanner in the works, and soon.
Wentworth Detention Centre.
I want to speak to Vera Bennett.
Speaking. I said this is Vera Bennett. Who is this? Hello? Hello?
Don't hang up, Miss Bennett. Just listen.
Who is this?
Leave Tracy Morris alone. Her friends don't like her being bothered.
Who is this? How dare you threaten me?
Just lay off Tracy Morris, or you'll be sorry.
You don't frighten me. You... Hello? Hello?
Do you want anything else?
No.
Well, we better get going. You don't be late for school. If we leave soon, I can drop you off on my way to work.
I can go on my own.
Oh, it's no trouble. Just give us a hand with these dishes and we'll be off. What time do you finish school?
I don't know. 3:30, I suppose.
Yeah, well... You better take this then. Let yourself back in. And don't worry about those dishes when you get home. Just wait for me and we'll do them together, okay?
Yeah.
Come on then. Be good to have a bit of company in the car for a change.
Haven't you finished making that bed yet, Morris? We haven't got all day, you know, so get a move on.
Yes, Miss Bennett.
Oh, this place is a mess. Pick that up. We don't have any maids in here. I suppose you're used to having someone else do things for you. Well, in here it doesn't work that way. You have to look after yourself. And you know the best way to do that, Morris, don't you? Don't you, Morris? The one way you can make life easier for yourself in here is by telling the police what they want to know. You'll have to eventually.
Miss Bennett, I've told you.
I think you'll change your mind.
What did you do that for?
It's a mess. Make it again and make it properly. And you'd better hurry. Be terrible if you missed out on breakfast, now wouldn't it? I think you'd better change your mind, Morris, because I'll be watching you. And if you put 1 foot wrong, you'll be surprised how hard I can make things. Oh, and by the way, it doesn't matter how nasty your playmates become. I don't scare easily. Think it over.
You wouldn't be trying to avoid me now, would you?
Of course not. Why should I?
You got any more bets for me from the other blocks yet?
Not yet.
What's the hold-up?
No, hold up.
Listen, Linda, I wouldn't like you to cross me. Even the great B. Smith couldn't get away with that. I took care of her, and I'll take care of anyone else who gets in my way. You're working for me now.
Look, all I want to do is to serve my sentence and get out of here. I don't want any trouble. I'm running book for you. No problems.
Good. Keep it that way. Now, what I need is money, and fast. I'm offering really good odds, and the women are starting to come round. In a few more days, they'll all be betting with me. And with B. Smith in solitary, there's no one to cause me any trouble. Except Lizzie and Judy. And they're no problem. Oh, by the way, you seem to be pretty chummy with those two in the rec room. Just remember whose side you're on.
Oh, Mr. Fletcher, how's Danny?
Oh, he's fine. He's all settled in now, gents.
I'm really grateful. I hope you're getting on all right.
Well, it'll probably take him a little while to learn to relax with me.
He's probably feeling a bit shy. But once you two get to know each other, you'll get on real well. If I do say it myself, he's a good boy. Great fun to have round. Give him my love, will you?
Yes, of course I will.
Anyhow, I promised Tracy I'd have a word with B. She's scared to death about what B'd do to her when she gets out of solitary.
She ought to be scared to death the way B feels about drugs.
She didn't know she was carrying drugs. She thought it was gold.
Do you reckon she's telling the truth?
Yes, I do. You know what makes it worse? She was set up by someone she thought loved her.
Poor little kid.
Yeah, and all day long Vera's at her. She never leaves her alone for a minute.
I tell you what we'll do. We'll stick around her so that old Vinegar Tits can't get at her. Don't you worry, Jude. We'll look after her.
We'll look after her, you stupid old bugger. You couldn't look after a sick cat. Oh!
What did you say that for?
What's the problem?
No problem. We was just talking.
Well, let's have a little less talk and a little more work. You okay, Burns?
Yes. Must be nice having a screw in your pocket door. Next thing you know, they'll be bringing you breakfast to bed.
Shut up, you old bag.
Doreen.
You get your hands off me too, you pervert. You don't care about me, any of you. I could just fall down dead and none of you'd even notice. I'm just stupid bloody Doreen and nobody gives a damn.
Burns.
Except you lousy screws, and you stick to me like a bad smell.
Burns, that's enough.
What are you staring at?
All right, ladies, back to work.
Door.
Did he make any specific threats?
No, just that I should leave Morris alone or I'd be sorry.
Well, you are going to tell the police.
Well, Inspector Grace will be in this afternoon. Naturally enough, I'll tell him, but it doesn't particularly worry me.
I wouldn't take it too lightly if I were you, Vera. I mean, there's some pretty tough customers in the drug game.
I suppose so, but I still think it's her father. He made quite a scene with me yesterday. Seems to think his daughter should be treated with kid gloves.
He questioned me about her treatment, too. I must admit he was pretty upset, but... Oh, honestly, Vera, do you think he's the type to make threats like that?
It wouldn't surprise me if he was in it right up to his neck.
Are you giving her a hard time, Vera?
Oh, really, Meg? I don't think even you could object to my trying to convince her to help the police.
Well, it's not really your job.
Look, that's my business. You just take care of your own job.
Look, why don't you let the police handle it? It could be dangerous.
Look, it's going to take more than a phone call to frighten me.
Why are you following me?
I'm just making sure you're all right.
I am all right. Just don't need you following me. Sick of it.
Everywhere I go, somebody behind me. All of you.
Settle down, Burns.
All I'm saying is, I've just had enough, that's all. I'm getting real sick of it. I want you to stop it. You hear me? Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! I want you to stop it! Leave me alone! I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh, may I see you for a moment, Mrs. Davidson?
Certainly, Meg. Problem?
Well, yes. It's Doreen.
I gave strict instructions she was not to be left alone. What happened?
Oh, she's all right. Well, physically, anyway. But mentally, well, frankly, I think she's close to a breakdown.
Oh, dear. I was afraid of something like this. Oh, sit down, Meg. Sorry.
I could be wrong, but I think we've got to stop having Doreen watched so closely.
But surely if she's so badly disturbed, it's all the more reason for having her watched.
Well, I just walked in on a scene between her and Officer Maguire. Doreen was completely hysterical. And from what I can gather, it was this feeling of being hounded and watched all the time that triggered it off.
Well, if you're right, at least we should make the guard on her less obvious. But I certainly wouldn't feel confident about removing it entirely. Oh, dear. I wish Paul Reed was still here. I'm just not quite so sure how to handle it. I'm afraid we might end up doing more harm than good.
Well, perhaps we should call Dr. Wiseman in.
Well, if there's no immediate improvement, we'll have to.
And a very good morning to you, ladies. Now that the kids are off to school and the breakfast dishes are done, well, at least we hope they are. Come.
So she still hasn't told you anything more?
No, not yet. But she will, eventually.
Well, someone's worried about her. I got a phone call last night warning me to leave her alone.
Did you indeed?
Well, there's no need to look so pleased about it. I don't like being threatened.
No, of course not. But look, don't you see the pressure you're applying must be working? They're running scared, otherwise they wouldn't bother to warn you off.
Yes, I suppose you're right.
You're a good worker, Miss Bennett. I'll make sure you're mentioned in my report.
Glad to help. Now, is there any more word on her father's possible involvement?
No, we haven't come up with anything.
Well, if you ask me, I think he's got something to hide. He was in here yesterday and he put on quite a turn about my questioning his daughter.
Well, that's interesting. I think we'll keep a closer eye on Mr. Morris. Well, keep up the good work, Miss Bennett. I'm sure she'll crack soon. And, look, you're not worried about that phone call, eh?
No, it takes more than that to frighten me.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Well, I'll be in again tomorrow, so if anything should happen, you know where to reach me.
Strike a light. It's like a morgue in here.
I think I've come up with something, Lizzie.
Oh, well, at least you're talking to me. I thought I was in here alone.
Listen, a lot of people are still against Kay, right?
Oh, I wouldn't be too sure of that.
Okay, but a lot are. And most people are afraid to cross B, right?
I guess so. So what?
Well, we get the women to pool their money, and then we lay a really big bet with Kay. When the horse wins, it'll break the bank. She'll be finished. She won't be able to pay up.
God, it's an awful risk, Jude. Supposing we lose?
Well, Margot's pretty good at picking horses, isn't she?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Oh, come on. If she wasn't, she would have been out of business a long time ago.
Yeah?
Well, Margot will pick us a horse. It's simple.
But how can she? Margot's still on the pound.
Yeah, well, Linda can get at her when she delivers the meals. She'd be happy to help us.
Yeah, but supposing Margot doesn't pick a winner, we've had it then.
Well, can you think of anything else?
I reckon it's our last chance. I'll go and find Linda.
Right, put it down. Put it down! And put it back. Oh, there's this Western on I thought you might like to see. And don't talk with your mouth full.
A Western? Oh, come on, they're for kids. You know, there's a big war movie on.
I know. I want to see the Western.
How come?
Yes, I would, that's why. Pass this on, will you?
Oh, I get it. You think just a little bit of blood and guts is going to give me nightmares. Bloody grown-ups are all the same.
Hey, watch your language.
You mean the blood and guts bit?
You know very well what I mean. Does your mum like to hear you talk like that?
She never said.
Well, I don't like it. And as long as you're staying here, there'll be no swearing. Understood?
Yeah, okay. Now, can we watch the movie?
No, sit down. Eat your dinner.
Well, why not?
Because I don't like them. Look, Danny, the war isn't the way they show it on the movies, you know.
Oh, sure. Hey. Were you ever in the war? You were, weren't you? That's where that gun came from.
Yeah, now sit down, eat your dinner. It's getting cold.
Oh, come on. Tell us about it. You know, what was it really like? Hey, did you ever kill anyone with that gun? You did, didn't you? How many blokes did you kill? Bloody heck. Oh, sorry. This is better than a war movie any day.
$2, is that all?
Honest, Jude, that's the best I could do.
Well, I was hoping we'd get a lot more than this. It's going to take more money than this to break her bank unless she gives us really good odds.
I don't think she's as stupid as all that.
We'll soon find out. Keep your legs crossed.
What's your problem?
No problem. I just wanted to put a little bet on Golden Retriever in tonight's trots, that's all.
You've been telling everybody not to bet with me. Why the sudden change of heart?
I'm just being sensible. As much as I don't like it, with Margot locked away, we still need a bookie.
Smart girl. Golden Retriever. She's a bit of an unknown quantity. How much are you betting?
Depends on the odds.
Fives?
Fives? What's ever happened to the great odds?
Oh, look, that horse could romp it in.
I thought you just said that she was an unknown quantity. Oh, well, if you're not interested, never mind.
All right. What kind of odds did you have in mind?
Double what you're offering.
Oh, you've got to be joking.
Listen, that horse could still be running an hour after the race is over. And I'm betting on her to win. Ah, forget it. Okay, girls, you save your money for Margot. This book's closed.
Okay. I'll do you a favor. Seeing as it's your first bet with me, 10 to 1. Now, how much are you betting?
20.
You've got it.
Sorry we couldn't supply you with a hairdresser, Morris. You seem a little jumpy. There's no need to be. I've just come to give you a little information.
What about?
I just thought you ought to know. The police are closing in. Before too long, they'll have this whole case wrapped up. Do you know what will happen then?
How do you mean?
You'll be a permanent guest. You and I will have a long time to get to know each other. You wouldn't want that, would you? I said, would you, Morris? Oh, I'm terribly sorry. You've had it very easy in here so far. This could all change after your trial. If you tell the police who set you up, then things will go a lot better for you in court. And if you don't, well, you're going to be in here for a long time. Have a good night's sleep.
And Desires Darling dropped off and Captain's Choice went to the lead. In the straight,
Come
Captain's
on,
Choice
girl.
in front of Desires Darling only a length away. Running on now is Golden Retriever down the outside quickly into second place. Captain's Choice in front, about to be joined by Golden Retriever. Neck and neck they drive towards the line. Golden Retriever going home a shade the better. And Golden Retriever won from...
Well, well, well. Looks as though the outside chance paid off, huh? I'll have my money now.
I don't carry that much around with me. Wouldn't last very long in here if I did.
Oh, anyone would think we was a bunch of criminals or something.
Maybe she can't pay.
That'd be terrible, wouldn't it? A bookmaker who couldn't pay off. I mean, she'd be finished, wouldn't she?
Who's saying I can't pay? You?
Well, maybe we're all a bit worried about that.
Now, listen, you take it easy. We know you're going to pay us. We'd just like to know when.
You'll get your money. Don't worry about it.
Do I look worried?
Oh, God, you did it, Jude. You're a genius.
Well, genius or not, I still think we ought to be careful. Don't forget what she did to Margot.
Hello, Hazel. Just the person I want to see.
Yeah? What for?
Oh, it struck me. You haven't placed a bet in a while.
You're kidding. God, you're keen, aren't you? You only paid me off my last bet a couple of hours ago. I haven't even had time to put it away yet.
Why put it away? You're on a winning streak. Now's the time to place another bet.
Thanks, but no thanks. There's nothing on I fancy.
No, I think there is. Matter of fact, I'm sure there is.
What are you on about?
I just told you. You're going to place a bet with me. Right now.
And I told you I'm not. What are you doing?
Just helping you make up your mind. Now, you're going to place a bet with me or not?
All right.
Good. Now, where's the money?
I haven't got any on me.
Oh, really? I haven't even had time to put it away yet. Oh, you're a real sport, Hazel, betting all of this.
Oh, come off.
You were saying?
Nothing.
Good. Seeing as you've been so generous, I'll do you a favor. I'll choose the horse for you. Any objections? No, I didn't think there would be. Well, I'd love to stay and chat, but I've got people to see. Bye.
Judy,
Oh, hi, Tracy.
can I come in and talk to you?
Well, of course you can. Hey, what's wrong?
I'm sorry I keep coming to you with all my problems. It's just the other day you were so nice to me. I really need someone to talk to.
I'm not trying to be nice. I really care about you. We're friends, aren't we? Now tell me what's wrong. Is it old vinegar tits again? That's better. Please tell me. Is it Vera?
She said the police have almost cracked the case, and if I don't tell what I know, I'm going to be in here for a long time, and she's going to be waiting.
Now, you listen to me a minute. If the police were that close, they would tell you, not her, right?
I suppose.
Of course. Anyway, I think Miss Bennett pretends she knows a lot more than she really does. She's just trying to frighten you, that's all.
She's doing a good job at that.
Well, we are not going to let her, eh? And don't you worry. I'm going to look after you, okay?
Judy is so nice. I feel so much better having you here.
Good morning, ladies. Any clean sheets ready for me?
Well, how's our little friendly Bookie today? Solvent, I hope.
Oh, yes. I believe this is yours. $200. It's all there. You can count it if you like. Well, you look surprised, Judy. What's the matter? Well, surely you didn't think I couldn't pay up. I don't know who was in on this, and you're lucky that I don't. But I'll give you all a warning. I'm too smart for the lot of you. You'll never break up my little operation. So why don't you stop trying?
Oh, $200.
I'd give my eye teeth to know where she got this money from.
She got some of it from me.
What?
Yeah, and a few others in this room.
What are you talking about?
She gave me a real good choice. I could make a bet or I could get hurt. I reckon that's how she got all the money. I think she went to every punter in this place. And those of us who weren't interested, she persuaded.
Don't you see? We've got her now.
How? She paid off, didn't she?
Hazel, are you sure that she got money from every bettor with money?
Yeah, I'm sure of it.
That's it, then. Can't you see the prison's dry? There's no more money now. All we need is for one horse to come in and it'll break the bank. She won't be able to get money. She won't be able to pay us back. All we need is one good tip from Margot and that's done it.
Aww.
You with me?
Well, why won't you tell us about it? Must have been real exciting.
Because it's a period in my life that I'd rather not talk about. And it's not exciting. It's something that I hope never happens again.
Come on, it must have been fantastic, you know, killing all those bad guys.
Who are the bad guys, Danny?
The enemy, of course.
You're the enemy.
What?
To them, you're the enemy. You're the bad guys.
Well, so what? You think I'd be scared of something?
In war, Danny, everybody's scared. I didn't know any bloke that wasn't. After a while, you're not sure of whether you're scared of losing your own life or of taking somebody else's. All you know is that it's ugly, and you want it to stop. Look, you love your mother, right?
Well, what's that got to do with it?
Well, how would you feel if something happened to her?
Oh, cut it out. Nothing like that's going to happen to Mum. Well, she's a woman. Who ever heard of women going to war?
Women do go to war, Danny, but that's not the point. I mean, you don't have to be a soldier to get killed in a war. And everybody who gets killed leaves somebody behind, even the enemy. Now, do you think they're going to feel any differently than you do?
I suppose so. Well, were your family worried when you were fighting?
Yes, I suppose they were.
Have you got any kids?
No,
Well, who are the people in the picture then?
they were my family, Danny. They're gone.
What do you mean gone? You mean they died? All of them?
That's right.
Jeez. Well, what'd they do? They stacked the car or something.
No. No, there was an accident. A bomb. An explosion.
I read about that in the papers. Jeez, I didn't know it was you. How come...
Look, I think we've had enough talk about disasters for one day, eh? And this is something that I won't talk about. Understood?
Yeah, sorry.
I've only one thing to say to you. If you wag school again today, you're going to have your own personal war on your hands, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go on, get in the car. I'll be down in a minute. And soldier, I'm not due at work until the late shift today. I could check on you.
You won't need to. I'll go.
Go on, beat it.
See, Linda got word from Margot last night that the only thing worth betting on is Charity Girl, the favorite.
She won't give you very good odds on the favourite. You'll have to make a pretty big bet.
Yeah, I know. That's why I thought if it's okay with you girls, we put $50 on it. That way it'll still break the bank if it wins, even though the odds aren't good, okay?
Yeah.
Right. Now we'll divvy up the rest of this later.
Here she comes.
Well. How's business? I understand you've been taking quite a few bets for this afternoon's race.
Some. So what?
So, I just thought I'd give you another one.
Oh, Judy, your little win's gone to your head. Sorry, I'd love to oblige, but the shop's closed.
Did you hear that, girls? Now, what would you call a bookie who won't take bets?
Out of business.
I'd call her worse than that.
Yes, it is not going to be good, Kay, when word gets around about this.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't stay in business long.
Uh-huh. Of course, word doesn't have to get around. Isn't that right, Lizzie?
I wouldn't bet on it, even if I could find a book.
Okay, no big deal. What do you want?
Charity Girl to win.
The favorite? Okay. I'll give you 3 to 1. Does that make you happy?
Ecstatic.
Good. How much do you want to bet?
$50.
$50?
That's right. Is something wrong?
No. What could be wrong?
Morning, Inspector Grace. I was hoping to catch you. You got a minute?
Well, I'm just on my way in to see one of your prisoners so we can talk inside.
Yeah, well, this will only take a minute, and I would rather we talk out here.
Well, what is it, Fletcher? I'm a busy man.
Look, I was wondering if you could take care of this for me.
Army issue, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's sort of a souvenir, and, well, I've got somebody staying with me at the moment, and I would rather that it wasn't in the flat.
Look, you know what to do with it. You take it to your local police station and hand it in.
Yeah, well, you know, there's all that red tape and everything, and besides that, you do owe me a favour, don't you?
Got a good memory? You shouldn't have hung on to this, you know that, don't you? Red tape. And you still say you thought you were carrying gold.
I do.
But you won't say who asked you to make the trip with the gold. Well, I think you're bullshit, Miss Morris. And I'm losing patience with you now. The longer you hold out now, the harder it's going to be for you in court.
Are you nearly finished, Inspector? I don't think Tracy's feeling very well.
You trying to tell me how to do my job, Mrs. Jackson?
Of course not. But the prisoners are my responsibility.
I've wasted enough time on you, Morris. You won't help yourself, nobody else will. But I do know a lot about prisons, particularly this prison. Now, I don't imagine you've had a very easy time of it in here. Well, it's going to get worse, especially if you end up as a permanent resident. A lot worse. Now, you think on that.
Hi, you okay? What's up? I guess I'm just not handling things too well.
What do you mean?
Well, the police were just here again. Now, don't worry, I didn't tell them anything.
Smart girl.
Really?
Of course you are. Look, I know it's not that pleasant in here. But once the dust settles and a few strings are pulled, you'll be out of here before you know it.
Are you sure?
Of course. Look, if you don't let Joe down, he won't let you down. Do you really care what happens to him?
You know I do.
Well, you want to see him protected, right?
Yeah, but shouldn't that work both ways?
Just hang on. When you get out of here, everything's going to be the way you want it.
Oh, fine, but what about now?
What are you talking about?
Vera Bennett, that's what.
Has Vinegar been hassling you?
Oh, hassling me? She's got me scared to death. She won't give up until I tell her what I know.
Oh, won't she?
Even that inspector warned me about it. He said that things could be difficult for me after the trial if I came back here. I can't tell you exactly what he said, but we both know what he was talking about.
Relax, I know how Vera Bennett works.
Then you know she can't be stopped. And while she's got me in here, she's got me exactly where she wants me.
She can be stopped. Now just leave it up to me. I'll get word out.
What'll they do?
Oh, do you care? You want to stop, don't you?
I don't want anyone hurt.
I didn't say anything about anyone getting hurt. We're just going to give her a fright, that's all. Look, don't worry about it. I said you'd be looked after.
All in and the light is on. Racing and charity girls.
Hurry up, Jude. The race is starting.
All right, I'll be there in a minute. Hi, Trace. How are you?
I'm okay.
Oh, that's good.
Shouldn't you be listening to the race?
Yeah, I just want to find out how Tracy is.
Yeah, well, she's fine.
Good. Anytime you want to come and talk, you know my door's always open.
How do you manage that in a place like this?
Well, I'll see you later, Tracy.
It's not too smart getting to know anyone. I'd hate to think you're opening your mouth.
I'll be careful.
How's it going? Left to go and charity
She's
girl
up
in
there.
front.
Come on, Charity Girl. Come on, Charity Girl.
Come on.
She's about to come on, Charity Girl.
On the outside. It's Charity Girl and Picasso. Not a lot between them. Picasso going home and shaking it. And Picasso got up to beat Charity
What's going on here?
Absolutely nothing, Mrs. Jackson. Everything's fine.
Tracy, there's a visitor for you. It's your father. And please, girls, keep the noise down.
Oh. Well, hard luck, ladies. Still, if you want to try winning your money back, I'll be in business a long time.
Sign out, please, Mr. Morris. You may as well get used to the rules.
What exactly do you mean by that?
Well, if your daughter's going to be in here for some
You're
time...
sick. You know that, don't you? Tracy will not be in here for some time. When she walks out of that court, she'll be free to go home.
Not according to the police.
Go home and live a normal life with normal people.
Oh, good. She may enjoy the change. She obviously hasn't told you about her little friend in here.
If Tracy's got a friend, I'm very happy. She needs one. She needs all the friendship she can get.
Even from a lesbian? Yes, Mr. Morris. The most notorious lesbian in this prison.
What are you suggesting?
I'm not suggesting anything. I saw them in each other's arms, Mr. Morris. So if you think I'm sick, what would you call your daughter?
What's the matter with you? You look as though somebody turned wine into water.
No, it's that bloody Kay. If she doesn't stop crying about that bet we made, I'm gonna thump her.
Yeah, I know, but we'll get her next time.
Hey, Jude, there's a Julie Andrews movie on. You want to watch it?
No, thanks. Don't think I could take the excitement.
What do you mean the next time? You don't reckon this lot's gonna lay out any more money, do you?
They've got to. We've got to stop her somehow.
Well, I reckon we ought to thump her now and get it over with.
That'd be great, wouldn't it? Then we'd end up in the pound with Bea and Margot, and who would stop her then?
What are you talking about? She's a good singer. But anyway, what would you know about acting?
I couldn't give a stuff about acting. I just want to watch Robert Redford.
Look, get out and leave
Hang in there a minute, you two. What's going on here?
She doesn't want to watch a Julie Andrews movie.
Well, it seems sensible to me.
Yeah, right. That's what I reckon. Who wants to watch her when Robert Redford's on?
Oh, he's a nice enough young fella, I suppose. But I didn't like him in that Sting picture.
Why? What's wrong with it?
Well, it was stupid. They was all getting shot dead and getting up and walking away. Well, what was all that about?
It was about the goodies getting the baddies. Where'd you say White was?
Don't turn around. What? Don't turn around, Miss Bennett. You're not very good at taking orders, are you, Miss Bennett?
I mean, who are you? What do you want?
You know what we want. Leave Tracy Morris alone.
Man on the phone.
I'm glad you remembered, Miss Bennett. It's a pity you didn't remember about Tracy. Maybe this'll help you remember.
I wish he could again, but that was on the outside, and things were different then. On the inside, the sun still shines, and the rain falls down, but the sun and rain are prisoners too. Around. Last night I dreamed we were together, sharing all the love we'd known, till I had to face the nightmare of waking up alone. On the inside the roses grow, they don't mind the storm, but the roses here are prisoners too when morning comes around.